y'all doing tonight? Welcome to the Ironworth Trading Show. I'm your host, Coach Price. This is not financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. How y'all doing today? How are you guys and gals doing? Hold on, let me share the live out. All right. Let a few more people come on in before I get started. All right, had to share the live out. Give my people time to come in. How y'all doing though? Your mic sounds nice. Check one. Okay, cool. Cool. How y'all doing? Tonight we pretty much gonna go over. We gonna interpret Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA. He came out with an article the other day saying basically that AI is a crucial force reshaping the world and infrastructure like electricity and the internet. I need y'all to wake the fuck up. We about to get it. We about to get it cracking. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. I'm also gonna be launching a brand new stock trading plan, y'all. Not even a stock trading plan, just my stock trading plan. Okay, we're gonna put it that way. Y'all can do whatever you want to do. Right? I don't know if I am, man. All right, so look, this is what we're gonna talk about. So I think it was March the 10th, a couple days ago. And I'm gonna put the link in the chat just so y'all can. Let me put the link in here. Here's the link. You should be able to just click on it. All right, so yeah, that's the link right there in the bottom right. So he pointed out in this article, he pointed out that AI should not be understood as a single model or application. So everybody who think AI is just Chat GPT, like it's a shit ton more to AI than just Chat GPT, okay? It's more to AI than Sora, Suna, whatever the hell you using. We're gonna talk about it tonight. We need to treat AI like it is an emerging infrastructure system, because that's what it is. Now, artificial intelligence is one of the most powerful forces in our generation that's shaping the world. You know, a lot of us were able to see the internet advance, cell phones advance, right? Now, it's not just a smart application, y'all. I'm telling you, AI is different. This is an indispensable infrastructure, just like electricity and the internet. Let me let some more people come in. While y'all, hey, all my new people, if you new here, hit the follow button, okay? Hit the follow button if you new here. Now, dude was talking about, and when I say dude, I'm talking about Jensen. That's his name. Buddy right here. Yeah. So he said that the AI industry is undergoing a technological infrastructure construction process similar to the Industrial Revolution. right now we got hundreds of billions of dollars being invested globally around the world. Okay, it's the world, Craig. But the overall construction is still in its early stages. That means they just getting started. A lot of y'all tired of AI, but it's just getting started. You don't understand. Y'all don't understand. So he called it a 5-layer cake. He said AI is a 5-layer cake, and we're gonna go over that. We're about to go over that. We're about to go over how AI is a 5-layer cake. Okay, so go ahead, get ready, do whatever you got to do. Go get your popcorn, your tea, your drink, whatever, your water. I don't know what you need, pen and paper, whatever. Go get it. Share the live out. Thank you. Tap the screen. Help me get some likes up, y'all. While I'm yapping, I need y'all tapping. Passion can't be the only one tapping. Yeah, he said this is a 5-layer cake. You got infrastructure, then you got chips. I said energy chips, energy, microchips, models, applications, all of them. Everything I named requires trillions of more dollars in further development. They're not done. They're just getting started. All right. This is the 5-layer structure of the AI industry. So in this article, all right, in this article that he wrote, I don't even know if he wrote it, but I know here it is right here on this website. Yeah. So he emphasized that there is a structural framework for the AI industry, a 5-layer technology stack. Okay, we got energy, we got microchips or chips. Okay, I just like to say microchips because some of y'all got big backs and think I'm talking about Lays. We got infrastructure, the models, and application. Then he emphasized that these 5 layers are strongly coupled. Okay, they are strongly coupled. Now we got energy. Let's talk about energy first. We're going to talk about energy first. So for energy, this is the most fundamental layer right here. We have real-time generated intelligence that requires real-time generated electricity. Every generated token is the result of, and I'm about to nerd the fuck out real quick, is the result of electron movement, heat management, and the conversion of energy into computing power. This is what goes into your prompts and shit, right? Now, below this layer, there is pretty much no abstraction layers. Okay, energy is the first principle of AI infrastructure and a hard constraint, basically that determines how much intelligence the system can generate. No energy, no AI. Now we got chips. Above energy, we got chips. These are the processors. Okay, chips are processors. They are designed to convert energy into computing power on a massive scale, not just on a massive scale, efficiently. All right, y'all, if y'all stay with me, we're going to nerd out. AI workloads require massive parallel computing power. It needs just as much computing power. All right, it needs a lot of bandwidth, memory, fast interconnect technology. So basically, advances at the chip level determine the speed at which AI scales and how affordable intelligence becomes. Okay. Now, next up, we got infrastructure. That's the next layer of the AI cake that we talking about, right? So above the microchips, the chips, lies the infrastructure. This includes the land that the data centers is on. Okay, so start looking at REITs. Look at some data center REITs, right? We got power, transmission, cooling systems, all the construction that takes place to build these things, networks. Think like an investor, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, the systems that coordinate thousands of processors into a single machine. So these systems are the AI factories. Think about the AI factories. They are not designed to store information, but literally to create intelligence. Next up, we got the models. Okay, above the infrastructure are models. AI models can understand many types of information, language, biology. Okay, y'all got to understand what we dealing with with AI. Any questions before I continue? Any questions? I'm going somewhere. Just pull up a chair and listen. I got you. All right. I don't see no questions, so I'm going to go ahead. Never lacking, always stacking. What up? I'm glad you could join. Do me a favor. Share the live out to y'all story at least. Hit the follow button. If you're new here, it says 0 followers. That means I ain't got no new people that hit the follow button yet. So let me continue. All right. So now we talking about models. AI models can understand like a plethora of information, many types of information. What up, coach? I just got started. We talking about AI and how there's pretty much, the CEO said there's 5 layers. He called AI a 5-layer cake. And I went over energy, chips, infrastructure, and now we on models. Okay. So above the infrastructure are models. We got language. They understand, AI models can understand a lot of different types of information. You got AI models that can understand language, biology, physics, even finance, right? We all here as investors or traders. AI understands finance, medicine, and the physical world itself. So the language models is just one category out of AI. It's not the whole thing. All right. It's not the whole thing. Where we at? Yeah. So some of the most disruptive work currently is happening in the fields of protein AI, chemical AI, physics simulation, robotics, and autonomous systems. All right. Keep that in mind. All right. So now we got applications at the very top are applications. That's pretty much is where economic value is created, right? We got drug discovery platforms, industrial robots. We got legal assistance AI, self-driving cars. All that shit fall into this category, okay? Self-driving cars are AI applications embodied inside of a machine. Humanoid robots are AI applications embodied in bodies. Okay? AI applications, humanoid robots are AI applications embodied inside of a body, right? They use the same technology stack, but they deliver different results. I want y'all to get ready for the world that we entering into. This is the reason why I'm talking about this, because a lot of us don't realize what's happening. We don't realize what's happening. Now, the infrastructure, this AI infrastructure, it develops faster than you think, right? But the development is still in its early stages. Now, how can we look at the industrial scale? How can we look at how AI will grow in this industry? Okay, Jensen Huang offered a clear assessment. The CEO of Nvidia, okay, he said we've only invested a few $100 billion so far. All right. If you anybody on the outside listening in, come on in. Bring your ass on inside the live. I need you to come on in and tap the screen while I'm yapping. I need y'all tapping. So look, we only invested a few $100 billion. It's funny that he said a few. Talking about we only invested. That's crazy work. We've only invested a few $100 billion so far. Do y'all understand the magnitude of that sentence alone? That means they just getting started. We have only invested a few $100 billion. This is some crazy. It's crazy. I'm gonna let it go. We've only invested a few $100 billion so far, but we'll need to build trillions of dollars worth of infrastructure in the future. Globally, chip factories, server assembly plants, and AI data centers are under rapid construction. Okay. All this information is what the CEO of Nvidia says inside this article right here, and it take you about 4 minutes to read it. Take anybody about 4 minutes to read this article from the CEO of NVIDIA. Go check it out. Okay. Now, basically, they saying that we got a lot more money to spend. He said that this trend, he described this trend as potentially one of the largest infrastructure developments in human history. Imagine you being able to invest in one of the largest infrastructure developments in human history. All right, so how about this? Fuck imagining. Realize that you have the opportunity to invest in one of the largest infrastructure developments in human history, right? Let's realize that. Let's let it sink in for a second. Let's take a moment of silence and think about what I just said. Everybody on the outside listening in, we're talking about NVIDIA. Yeah, we talking about NVIDIA tonight real quick. That's how we going to open the show. So again, if you're new here, hit the follow button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss another live stream. If you're listening to this on YouTube, feel free to subscribe. I post all my replays from TikTok on YouTube, and for everybody that might have missed the show while it was live. So you might be listening to a live recording replay. How do you spell it? Spell what? NVIDIA? NIVIDIA. But you don't even got to put the I in there. Okay, so when you spell NVIDIA, just put NVIDIA. It's a company. N and then VIDIA. Okay, now at the same time, for y'all that don't realize that you have the opportunity to invest in one of the largest infrastructure developments in human history. That's like you being born during the time where they was riding horses and before the cars was made. And they started building cars and roads and shit, and you realized this early, so you invested. That's like you realized before they made phones or the internet, and you saw this shit come by way. You didn't invest in it at that time. It's crazy work. So don't be one of them people in the future where those 2-3 generations in the future gonna be looking at you like you fucking crazy for not investing. Okay. Now at the same time, all this AI that's happening, all these data centers and things like that that's being built is creating a new labor demand. Okay, there's a new labor demand. AI data center construction requires a shit ton of skilled workers. A lot of anybody that's an electrician out there, work. Plumbers, work. Network engineers, work. Equipment installers, all y'all got work. IT people, y'all got work. So I don't want to hear that, AI is taking people's jobs. You got to understand, he emphasized participating in this transformation doesn't necessarily require you to have a computer science PhD. I was happy to hear that. My dad my dad got a bachelor's degree in this, but you don't need one. You don't need a PhD. You don't need a degree to participate in this transformation. You do not need a computer science PhD. You don't need a degree to do this, all right? He also said, right? Let's just make sure we understand and understand this. I want to be clear. I do not want you guys to, take this the wrong way. I got to make sure you get what I'm saying. This guy is not just talking about AI, all right? He is laying out a roadmap for the next wealth cycle. Put a W in the chat if you want to be a part of the next wealth cycle. Before I continue, I want to see all my rich people in the chat. I'm looking for my rich people in the chat. Put a W in the chat if you gonna follow the roadmap for the next wealth cycle. Okay, never lacking. Passion, I know you busy. Okay, as long as y'all two listening, you feel me? It's I don't even know who else in here. Okay, we got is that okay? I think that's key. Okay, so yeah. Today, all right, we got some winners in here. Cool. So today, y'all, I really took the time to carefully read that whole article. I took the time to read this whole article, this whole thing. Right? And I did this so that I could digest it and bring it back to my live stream. If y'all new here, hit the follow button. Don't forget to hit the follow button, okay? So when I read it, when I finished reading it, I walked away with one main feeling, right? And I'm gonna share that with y'all. This was not just another technology speech. I know probably a lot of people probably think it was, but no, this was not just another technology speech. Go read it. This was not just the CEO getting on stage talking fancy about, some shit they about to come out with. Nah. This felt like a real roadmap. Not just for NVIDIA, not just for Silicon Valley, but for the broader market and for the next phase of infrastructure construction that could shape investing from now to 2030. And for anybody with eyes to see and ears to hear, them the only ones who gonna get it. But I know tonight, I'm afraid it may fall upon deaf ears, but it's okay. We in an each one teach one environment, so my duty is to scream at you a little bit, cuss you out, just to do whatever I got to do to wake you the fuck up. Like, hey, you, I'm talking to you, wake up. You got a chance to invest in something big. You have an opportunity that comes once in a lifetime. You better use yourself and use it. Come on, bitch. You better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. Looking at. I'm for real though. Now I need people to slow down and understand what I'm saying, because too many people hear AI and immediately think about Chat GPT. What the fuck? And whatever app is going viral online, that's it. Yeah, P. But that's surface level thinking. Like, I don't want y'all to think surface level. Like this dude, that the CEO of NVIDIA, he had a clear message. Like, at least the way I look at it, the way I took it, is much bigger than that. Okay, he telling the market that AI is no longer just software. Keep thinking this shit software if you want to. You're gonna be caught behind. You're gonna be a user and not listen. The users is the losers. I hate to say it. Like, if you use it the right way, you come out on top. But I'm talking about the people that just generating. They finna be making Easter Bunny pictures and St. Patrick's Day pictures and shit. They're not using it for their business like y'all could or should be. And even if you're not going to be, let's say you're not an entrepreneur and you're not using AI in your business, you should at least be an investor. And I ain't telling you what to do, but being an investor is a lot better than just using Chat GPT to generate pictures. It would help you a shit ton to realize. That's like when the cell phones first came out, or when the phones first came out. There was a lot of people that just, used it for this, used it for that. But what about the people who invested in it? While encouraging people to invest in AI stocks, would you also recommend investing in water? Well, you know what, Passion? I want to say I'm informing people about doing it. I'm encouraging people to pay attention, right? Because I don't want to go down as the person who is encouraging people to invest in AI stocks. I want them to realize, like, on their own. I don't want to tell you what to do. You do it on your own. Like I said, this is for educational purposes only, but investing in water is smart. No, you good, Pete. I think that's very smart. I think investing in water is smart, right? And I learned that at an early age. 50 taught me that. For real. How, in any way you can, why wouldn't you? Right? But I want to invest in water in a different way. It just depends on how you choose to do it. So, I mean, and water is important. Water is a part of the AI infrastructure too, P, because it requires a lot of cooling. It requires a shit ton of cooling. So it's remember I said earlier, a lot of this shit is coupled. It's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, a lot of this shit is related to each other. So yeah, this AI is infrastructure. Again, it's infrastructure. Once something becomes infrastructure, the investment conversation changes completely. Okay, when something is infrastructure, y'all, let's think about it. The roads that we drive on, the telephone lines. This is what I mean by infrastructure, something that is laced throughout the world or the country. But a lot of people don't realize the correlation exactly. Now, when something is an infrastructure, it becomes foundational. It becomes something that other industries build on top of, right? That's AI. It becomes something that powers everything else around it. That is why I believe the information revealed in this article has very strong guiding value for investors that's thinking about the years, let's say this year to 2030, the next 4-5 years, right? Because if you keep treating AI like it's just some type of fucking, like it's a trend, you're going to miss the fact that it's starting to behave more like a system, all right? This is starting to behave like a system. Systems create entire ecosystems of winners and losers, right? But systems create demand, not just for one company, but for whole supply chains, whole sectors, whole labor categories, even whole national strategies. That's why this matters so much. So from the CEO's point of view, from this guy Jensen, from his point of view, from at least from what he was saying in his blog, AI has evolved from being what people think as just a smart software into something much more serious, right? He framing it like it's a national level infrastructure. In the same way electricity and the internet was in the early stages. Like, we'll get the memo late. I think we get the memo a little bit too late. What up, Lady C? Yeah, we'll get the memo late. Let's not be late to the memo. If y'all, so I must got only my followers in here tonight, y'all. This is a small live. Only people in here is my followers, but it's okay. I love y'all. I don't care about everybody else. I just have to keep checking, and I'm looking like, dang, it's a small show, but I am late. I'm 2 hours late, so I'm looking to come on at the same time so that I can everybody know like, okay, he go on at 11. All right. But anyways, this national level infrastructure, y'all know what that means? I'm telling you, this is like when electricity was being harnessed, or the internet first like was in its early stages. Yeah, both of them ended up becoming essential to the way that this whole world worked. Now, this is a massive mental shift. So I need y'all to take y'all mindset and shift it towards, wait a minute, he's right. This is bigger than what I thought. See, a lot of people are still under the impression that AI is in some type of a bubble, and it's not. AI is not, I said AI is not in a bubble. This shit is bigger than you think. Thank you for the gifts, y'all. I appreciate it so much. Lavish Lele, I appreciate you for sending me the heart me. Lady C, thank you for the donut and the perfume. What up, Lele? So yeah, this ain't no AI. I mean, this ain't in no bubble. This is not. If AI is just software, then people only gonna focus on the apps and the products. But if AI is infrastructure, then investors need to start studying the full stack, right? We need to study the entire machine. The entire machine. They need to study what powers it, what feeds it, what builds it, what scales it, and then what monetizes it. That means what makes it money. Okay? And the framework that the CEO that Jensen laid out, okay? Yeah. The framework he laid out is powerful because it is simple enough to understand, but it's deep enough to build a strategy around it if you really pay attention to what he said. Like I said, go read the article. It's on thevideo.com. If you get time, go check it out. But yeah, the stack pretty much it's simple. Let me pull it back up. It's simple. The stack is simple. For those that just got in, I'm gonna go back over it real quick. Matter of fact, let me just pull the picture up. We'll do it this way. Yeah, you got to study this whole machine. You need to study what powers it, what feeds it, monetize it. All right, so it goes from energy to chips to infrastructure, or what he calls AI factories, right? Then to models, and finally to applications, right? That order matters. It is not random. Pay attention to the order. I'm going to show y'all something. Pay attention to the order. Energy is at the bottom, right? What specifically were the key takeaways for you? Well, that's really what I'm about to go over right now, right? So pay attention. He stacked it in a way to where each one of these things that he named is so many companies and ways for you to be for you to have exposure to it. There are so many ways for you to have exposure to it. See, when people say you should invest in AI, right? A passion. It be them other TikTokers that be on here trying to encourage people to invest in AI, right? I just want to inform y'all, like, look, there's a lot more to AI than Chat GPT, and I know we know that, but it's even deeper than what we know is what I really took away from it. And what I took away from it is the time is kind of running. Is we still in the early stages of AI, but that don't mean that it ain't, gonna run away from you. Right now is a good time in history overall. I ain't gonna say a good time to do nothing, but if in the future we're gonna look back and wish we had have done things if we don't. Now, you see he got it stacked from energy chips, infrastructure. This is the AI factories, the data centers and shit, the models, okay, and then applications. That order matters. It's not random. We got energy at the bottom. Why? Why is energy the foundation? Anybody tell me why energy is the foundation? Anybody with hands on the screen can tell me why energy is the foundation of this 5-layer cake. I tell you why, because nothing runs without power. I know you was finna say that. Okay? Now, chips come next because they are the engine. Yeah, microchips come next because they are the engine. The chips are the engine doing the computing. You gotta understand. Let's break it down. If ain't nobody ever broke it down for you, you in the right spot. All I ask is you hit the follow button if you haven't already, or tap the screen. It'll push the live stream out to a bigger audience, y'all. That's all it is. If y'all tap the screen for me, it'll help more people come in, right? That y'all help me out when y'all do that. So do me a favor and tap the screen, right? So look, infrastructure matters because the chips need a physical environment to operate on a big level. Again, let me start over. The energy ain't shit happening without the power. The chips is the ones that take the energy and do the damn computing. It does the actual work, right? The chips need a physical environment to exist inside of for it to be able to operate at scale. The models sit above the infrastructure because they are trained and run on top of that entire system. Then the applications, that's what people actually use in business and in real life, right? This is the important part. Every breakthrough at the application layer creates demand for everything underneath it. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? I'm going to say it again. I'm going to slow down. The applications in AI, like ChatGPT, for example, right? That's the part. Whenever they get breakthroughs on the application sector, every breakthrough at the application layer creates demand for everything under that you see right here. If you can see it. No, you can't see it. It's all right. Yeah. So that means when AI applications become more powerful and more useful, it does not just help the app makers. No, it helps. It increases pressure and demand all the way down the chain. It helps. More applications means more models. More model usage means more infrastructure. More infrastructure mean more chips. More chips mean more energy demand. That is why I say this is not just a software trend. This is a chain reaction. Okay, it's a chain reaction. That's also why the statement, "We have only just begun the largest infrastructure construction in human history," is such a big deal. That's why I brought it up tonight. I'm gonna say it again. The CEO of Nvidia, the largest company in the world, says that we have only just begun the largest infrastructure construction in human history. This is a big deal. That is not small language. That is not casual language. That is construction language. All the rich people know. I'm talking about 7 figures, 8 figures, 9 figures. These things talking about trillions of dollars. So investing billions and trillions of dollars. So investing or holding stock in energy companies now will pay off big in the future due to the development. Not just energy company, energies, chips, infrastructures, model. There's a way to have exposure in it all, not just one. You know what I'm saying? If investors do not catch the tone of that, they may be standing in the middle of one of the biggest build outs of our time while still thinking like this is just another technology cycle, and it's not. It's not. I'm raising the flag, trying to get you to see. That's all I'm doing. I just want you to see. I'm not spreading FOMO. There is no fear of missing out. I'm just letting you know what's going on, okay? So, the first message I got is AI is now a real-time intelligence. What you mean just use it as an example? What you mean? Oh, you saying you was just using it as an example? FOMO. Yeah. Yeah. Evacuation list. What up? So again, the first major message I took from this whole thing, key, is that the essence of AI is not just automation in the old sense, right? You know, do we all know what automation is? Let's think about automation. What is automation? Anybody can tell me what is automation? Keyword. The use of largely automatic equipment in a system of manufacturing or other production process. Operate process without human intervention is a good answer too, never lacking. But again, so what I got from his speech was AI is not just automation in the old sense, right? And not in the sense of way we used to look at it. It is what I would call real-time generated intelligence. We call it artificial intelligence, but it's a little bit. It's some authenticity to this shit. I remember people used to. There was a craze going around. I think it was called K2 or Spice. Man, it was people getting fucked up off that Spice, right? And they kept calling it synthetic. And I'm like, if it's so synthetic, why is it people getting sent to the crazy house out here in these streets getting this shit from the gas stations? The shit was called Spicer. I think it was like potpourri. I don't know, but I just know people was getting fucked up off of it and was calling it synthetic. And I'm like, for something to be so synthetic, y'all having authentic ass results. So again, when we talk about AI, the correlation I put with that is sometimes shit don't be as in. Oh man. Okay. I gotta be careful. I wasn't supposed to go there. Lady C, I don't think I was supposed to talk about Spice. Yo. Okay, hold on. Okay, TikTok, I got you. Calm down. Calm down, TikTok. It's okay. All right. Let me see. Let me get this off the screen. They said that my live is restricted for 10 minutes or something. All right. AI agents about to be crazy. Top 3 energy and or chip companies you would look at. Lady C, go look at all of them. Go look at all of them. And since we talking about AI, use AI to help you find the top 3 energy and or chip companies that you would look at. But I wouldn't limit myself to those 3. What if you missed the one that's about to go crazy because you only looking at those 3 and it was the 4th one that you should have been looking at? You see what I'm saying? So don't stop at the top 3. Don't stop at the top 3. Don't stop at the top 3. Wow, make me work. That's right. So this is real-time generated intelligence. In the older software, right? In the old software world, I know a lot of y'all know about the old software world. Okay. A lot of software was basically pre-built, pre-written, pre-structured, right? It was like something that had already been recorded and then handed to the user, right? But AI is completely different. This should generate output in real time. It create on the spot. So it reasons on the spot. It produces responses. It gives you code, and a lot of us haven't even began to code. You haven't even gotten into coding yet, right? I would have to create an entire. I probably should. How about that? I'm gonna create a whole new page just dedicated to AI. Just keep it strictly about AI. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a new page. Y'all gonna follow my new AI page. I'm gonna teach us how to use AI better. That's what I'm gonna do. Because I don't want to do it on here. Let's keep this because you know how TikTok is about the algorithm. But yeah, I'm gonna make an entire new one and dedicate it to, you know. Okay, back on topic. I can't have nothing up though because TikTok will take it down. So we have to pay attention to the fact that AI is different, and because it changes everything. So when that changes, the underlying computing architecture has to change too. That's the part that a lot of people miss that part. They think AI is just a better app. No. The reason why companies like Nvidia became one of the biggest companies, well, really the biggest company. The reason why it became so central is because the new kind of intelligence being generated requires a different type of hardware. Matter of fact, it requires a different type of hardware intensity, a different type of compute demand. It need a whole different system to design. Like it don't even take the same design. So yeah, it needs a different scale of infrastructure than traditional software does. So when people ask why Nvidia has that, what is it, a multi-trillion-dollar market cap, and why did the value explode so much over the past 2 years? One of the real answers is that the world is beginning to understand that this is not just software getting better. This is the digital architecture of the economy becoming rebuilt to support a new type of computational demand. You're never going to sleep again. Oh yeah, because I'm making another page. Yeah, we're gonna sleep when we get up out of here. So when the architecture changes, money moves, and I'm talking about a lot of money, not just a little bit, y'all. Did y'all hear me say in the beginning of this that Buddy said that we've only spent a few hundred trillion so far? I think he said billion, but yeah. What you mean we've only spent? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Like, you know, yeah, he actually said that in that he said we've only invested, he ain't say spent. He said we've only invested a few $100 billion so far, but we'll need to build trillions of dollars worth of infrastructure in the future. Mm-hmm. Now, it's a lot of money. So not just into the shiny application like Chat GPT that people can see. You feel me? Even though I know that's not NVIDIA, but it might they about to be connected too. But I mean into the machinery, the pipes, systems, supply chains. Like a lot of people ignore this part because they are not exciting enough. It's not exciting enough for you. So you want to ignore that part. Okay? Now, the second thing that called out to me is probably one of the most important. Okay? And in my opinion, it's one of the most overlooked by people who are new to investing. You asked me about energy, and about a couple of y'all ask me about energy. Okay, which energy stock should we look at, or you know, and so I think Key, you said something about energy too. But so energy is the most fundamental constraint on AI. Like we know that. Jensen placed energy at the very bottom of the entire stack. And that's not because he did it because he don't care about it. It's a message. It's him saying in plain terms like that. No matter how advanced your model is, no matter how smart your application is, no matter how smart, listen, it don't matter how much demand exists. None of it can expand past the limits of available power. So whoever got the power, I got the power. Looking at this is critical to understand. You have to understand what I'm and grasp it. It got to click in your head. If it's not, I'll repeat it. Every token generated requires electricity. So every computation requires electricity. Every AI factory, every data center, every server cluster. This is why the companies are starting to invest in energy because they need it. Nah, and Lady C, the y'all that gotta go to sleep, y'all can watch the replay on YouTube. You feel me? I get on here, you know. Don't make me say it. But yeah, watch the replay. If you miss me live, just watch the replay. If you want to get the information, that is. You feel me? You don't got to. Bloom Energy. I'm gonna add them to my watch list, evacuation list. I'm gonna add them to my watch list. One of my clients got like 300% return. I'm gonna get. Hey, I ain't gonna say her name because she might not people knocking on her door trying to get some money on. Okay, I will watch during the day on YouTube. Yeah, you can watch the replays. It's just as lit. It's just as lit. You're gonna get the same info. Now, oh yeah, Passion, I wasn't even talking about you though. But guess what? Passion did good too. Passion, AAOI, yeah. Yeah. I forgot. I'm not bullshitting, P. I forgot. You got the AAOI. I think two other people got it too, but when we first got in, it went down. I got another one. It's only 10 of y'all in here, so I guess I can go ahead. I'm gonna leak it. But I'm gonna wait till I'm done with this little presentation, right? And then I got y'all. Is your YouTube name the same as here? Yes, it is. And I need to get my bio set up. I thought I did have it right to where you could just click on the link in my bio and you should be able to see it. And if not, I got to get that together. But yeah, everything to do with AI needs electricity. Yeah, every cooling unit, everything, every networking operation is tied back to power. AI is not floating in the clouds like magic. This is running through physical systems that consume real world resources. So when the CEO of NVIDIA, when you hear dude put energy at the foundation, what I hear him saying is, if you want to understand the whole AI build out, you better stop ignoring the power problem. Okay. That is why I believe energy may end up being one of the most important layers for us to pay attention to. But people love to talk about the chat GPT and shit because they forget that power is the hard ceiling. You can't scale intelligence infinitely if the grid can't support it. I'm gonna stop saying chat GPT. I know it ain't the only thing, but you know, it's just what I'm saying. It's just, you know, it's just an example. Just an example. Just an example. Yeah. You can't build AI factories everywhere if the energy input is not there. You cannot keep accelerating compute demand while acting like the electricity issue is just some side chick. It ain't it ain't gonna work like that. Energy is the main, the bedrock, it's the floor, right? It's the physical limit that determines how far this whole AI machine can go. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Y'all with me? Now that should immediately force a lot of y'all to think differently, right? So instead of only asking which AI app is popular, we are going to start asking who is supplying the energy. If you want to know, Lady C, you might be gone, but this was the answer. This was to help you answer your own question. It ain't about the top three. You need to ask who is supplying energy, who is solving power bottlenecks, who is building dedicated energy solutions for data centers, which areas of the market benefit from AI's growing appetite for electricity. Let me see where she at. Telly, you in the chat? Telly, you in class? Let me see if Telly in class. Okay, she said present. Okay, she said here. Bet. Check it out. This is one of them things that once, like, you can. I don't know how you come up with your research, but look in this direction. This the direction you want to ask yourself. The one that Passion just re-put in the chat. Yeah, these are important questions, y'all. It's important questions. Who is supplying the energy? Who is solving power bottlenecks? Who is building dedicated energy solutions for data centers? Which areas of the market benefit from AI's growing appetite for electricity? This is where a lot of the crowd will be late because the crowd like obvious stories. It doesn't shock me that it's only 10 of us in here tonight when I would be talking about this. It's amazing that, like, I'm telling you, I think this is probably one of the most important live streams that I done did since I've been on TikTok. And it's only 9 or 10 people in here. So it ain't meant for everybody to get. It's not meant for everybody to get. The deeper money is usually made in the ugly. I'm telling you. It's made in the ugly necessary layer that nobody posts about with excitement. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I said, what did I ask? You might have to replay it, Passion. What did I say? Let me check my notes. Oh, who is building dedicated energy solutions for data centers and which areas of the market benefit from AI's growing appetite for electricity? Who this is? Who this is? What up, fam? What up, Empire? All right, so yeah, I got another thing from another major point that he showed to me is about open source models. Y'all know about open source models? Those are four important. Yeah, they are. It should. I mean, at least should be people should be asking themselves them questions. And yo, and everybody that liked the live, I appreciate it. Y'all ain't even gotta like it no more. I don't even care if don't nobody else come in here but y'all. We good. We locked in. I want to make it private. Y'all get used to me starting to do these in the Discord. I think I'm gonna go just help the people out that already joined the community a lot more. So yeah, y'all stay tuned and look out in there because I'll probably be doing this inside of there a lot instead of coming on here out in the public. Yeah, so a lot of people he talked about open source models, right? That's where lazy thinking also will get you screwed. A lot of people hear that models are becoming more open or more accessible, and they just assume that that means it's gonna be less opportunity. Nah, no. They assume that if something becomes cheaper, more available, or even free in some cases, right? Then the whole business case falls apart. But the CEO of NVIDIA pretty much points in the other direction. He said open source models can actually accelerate demand across the full stack. Yeah. So this means even if the model layer becomes more open, the layers underneath can benefit massively. In some cases, they may even benefit more. Why? Because when more powerful people can access powerful models, more people can build, more startups build, more enterprises experiment. You got more developers that get to test. A lot of more businesses get to integrate AI into products. You got governments that explore national AI capabilities. And then you see a lot more applications. A lot of applications get launched after that. So yeah, every one of those moves is going to create more pressure on chips, power, data centers, networking, cooling, infrastructure, etc. This is a huge point. Pay attention. It tells me, and it should tell you the same thing, not to think in a narrow way. Right? The fact that a model is open source does not automatically mean the money disappears. Matter of fact, it can widen adoption. You know, a wider adoption that can increase total demand throughout the whole system. This is why this can still be a major tailwind for companies sitting underneath the model layer, right? And we got NVIDIA, Taiwan Semiconductor, anything power related, all the power related businesses, they all benefit from the physical demand created by scale. So even when software becomes more widely available, the hardware and the infrastructure burden can still grow. That's a powerful investment insight if you really understand what's happening. Some of this shit flew right over your head. It's okay. Go watch the replay. You will start to see, like, you know what? I get it now. Even if that shit was free, everybody using it still requires a shit ton of everything under it, like power, for example. So AI has crossed a watershed. AI has crossed what I would call a real threshold over the past year. Okay? The models are no longer just doing party tricks. It ain't just posting, it ain't just turning you into somebody you never will be. Okay? It's bigger than just taking you and putting you into a place you will never be. The reasoning ability with AI has improved. The hallucinations, meaning their tendency to confidently say nonsense, have decreased. The factual accuracy has improved. And as that happens, the more that happens, the application layer starts creating what? real economic value, right? That part matters because the market always treat a technology different once it start moving from concept to actually being used in a commercial sense. Okay, when something is only a concept, people speculate on dreams. When something began producing real value in sectors like drug discovery, logistics, manufacturing, automation again, okay, business operations, now as an investor, we no longer just trade in imagination. We watching the early stages of real monetization. Then my fingers rubbing together. You shouldn't be able to hear them like this. That means I need some coconut oil, some shea butter or something. Some ashiness going on. But this me doing money signals, which move my hands. You could hear it. That does not mean every AI company is going to become a winner. Let's not get ridiculous. We're not going to get ridiculous. The markets don't reward everybody. So a lot of companies still overpromise and they going to underdeliver. They going to overpromise and underdeliver. That don't mean just going to buy every AI company. No, that ain't what I'm saying. It's going to be a lot of weak ass businesses that's going to borrow the language of AI. I'm sorry, that was funny. But yeah, they're going to borrow some shit and make a business. Mm-hmm. All right. Any questions? Y'all got any questions? Every time it's a cycle, y'all, it's always somebody, it's always a company, it's always a weak ass business that's gonna borrow some shit and just hope that investors are dumb and just buy into that shit. It happened every cycle. But AI is beginning to leave the fantasy stage and step into the economic stage. This is massive passive income type shit. Once real value begins showing up in real industries, the money that start flowing, the capital that start flowing into the system, it becomes more durable and more serious. So AI is really, it's not a threat. A lot of people take it as a threat. A lot of people, they scared of AI. And they don't like what it can quote unquote do to the environment, what Google ain't been doing, or it took the same amount of water to make a prompt that it did to make the comment that they put online to talk shit about water being used for AI. Now, they say that AI may create more jobs than it destroys. This is probably one of the most socially important. He said in this form, and I got all of this in about 6 minutes. I read that article in about 6 minutes, and I've been live for about an hour talking to y'all about what all I got from that 6 minutes. He argued that AI will create more jobs, not simply replace them. Think about radiologists. The idea is not that the doctor disappear. AI can assist the doctor, improve efficiency, handle repetitive analysis, and allow that professional to serve more people. And if more people are being served, the system actually requires more workers, right? The system that actually does require more workers, more support roles, more infrastructure roles, more specialized human oversight, it will help it. Okay, so this is important because one of the biggest fears people have is AI is going to become some giant job-eating monster. I'm not telling people that there ain't gonna be no disruption, because it is. Like that would be a lie. Of course, some jobs gonna change. Of course. A lot of jobs gonna be automated. They not gonna need your ass to do what they needed your ass to do before. You better learn how to transition. So, of course, some industries will have to adapt. But the point is that the story may be more complex than simple, right? It may be more complex than simple. So it ain't just as simple as them taking your job. AI can expand how much you can do, how much can be done. It can increase productivity, right? It can widen the access that one may have or didn't have before. Oh, you hit the nail with the hammer, evacuation list. So yeah, when that happens, human labor does not always disappear. Sometimes it get recognized or reorganized. Let's put it that way. Yeah, sometimes it gets multiplied in new ways or new categories. You got some categories of work that's created around the very systems that's being built. Then it connects back to the broader labor market, like the future workforce. A lot of y'all go to work every day. The shit finna change. It's gonna look very different from the way it looked today. Shit finna look very different. Skilled trades, technical installation work, maintenance work, electricians, plumbers, mechanics. All of this shit is finna be more valuable in an AI economy because somebody still gotta build the real world system that the AI depend on. Okay, that part is huge. Now, a lot of people busy worrying about digital jobs because a lot of people still doing that. Like, so while they worried about that, the physical world still has to be wired, cooled, repaired, expanded, and maintained. So AI may raise the value of physical competence more than y'all expect. It's needed more. So she asked me for the 3 stocks and I think she went to bed, but I'm gonna give y'all the 3 investment areas. And Lady C, you watching this replay, here's the 3 investment areas that you need to watch closely. Now, when I step back from all of this shit we done talked about tonight, I see 3 major investment areas that I think everyone should be focused on. This is for educational purposes only, right? I advise you not to take my advice. That way, you ain't got to come knocking on my door or calling my phone about shit. I don't want you. I'm telling you now. I'm gonna let you know. So the first is the energy layer. Y'all already know this, duh, right? Since he placed. Let's get rid of this robot real quick. Since the CEO of NVIDIA placed energy at the very bottom of this deck, right? He placed it at the very bottom of the stack. That tells me that this is the hard ceiling for AI expansion. AI can only grow as much as the energy that it has to allow it. It needs energy. AI can only scale as far as the power behind it. Okay? So investors should be thinking about U.S. nuclear and natural gas power companies, dedicated energy solutions for data centers, and even areas related to future energy technology, where the market may start pricing in long-term opportunity. The reason this matters, the reason why this layer matters is because AI does not run on excitement. It runs on electricity. The second major layer is the chip and infrastructure layer. This is where NVIDIA remains the core of the core engine of the stack. It is still central because the compute demand is enormous and the system cannot function without that engine. Then you look around the broader chip ecosystem and supply chain. Companies tied to semiconductor manufacturing. You get to look at whoever designing chips. Let's think about, anything to do with the back end support. All of that can remain important as this infrastructure build out continues, right? And then you move into the physical data center build out itself. And this is where it gets interesting because now we take in, the actual real world expansion of AI factories, the facilities, the cooling. We talking about the networking, the equipment, the electrical systems, the operating environments that support the large scale compute. That part of the market may not always be the sexiest story, right? but it may be one of the clearest. Okay, so let's move to the third layer, which is the application layer. This is where, after the foundation is built, the real money at the business level starts showing up. Once the energy is there, hear me out, because once the energy is there, once the chips is there, once the infrastructure is there, then the companies that actually apply AI inside real industries, they can begin capturing real serious economic value. That includes areas like logistics, drug discovery, again, robotics, anything to deal with autonomous systems, any other verticals where AI can actually solve a useful problem and improve and fix efficiency. Let's say that. Anywhere where AI can actually improve output, that is where AI stops being just a build out story and becomes a monetization story, right? So this is why I do not view AI as being in no damn bubble. AI is not in no bubble. No. I'm not looking at AI and saying this is just another technology bubble. No, I look at this as more like an industrial revolution that may last 10 years, 20 years, maybe longer. Right? Or, if you got children, maybe nieces and nephews, okay? Maybe not. Either way it go, what's happening is, what is being reshaped here is not just software. It is energy demand, manufacturing, labor structure. They gonna look at you like, well, you saw all this happening. Why you ain't? I'm telling you, this was gonna happen. Yeah, I'm thinking about the next 30, 40 years, 10, 20 years, but yeah, 30, 40 years. I'm looking at AI and where we could be going from here. So this is bigger than a earnings cycle. This is bigger than this is not a meme stock wave. This, you know what I'm saying? This is bigger than just the CEO. This is bigger than just the CEO in the video. This is about how the economic machine itself may be reorganized around new forms of intelligence and computation. That's why I think investors need to stop focusing only on which model is the smartest. That's too narrow. I don't. Can you not see so far ahead looking at it? Because I've been thinking about forever. That's too shallow. Don't think shallow. The better questions is these. Who is building AI factories? The Bati song. That's a Bati song. But who is supplying electricity? Who is producing chips? Who is managing the supporting infrastructure? Who is positioned in the middle of the build out, not just the flashy surface layer? All right, because the people who understand the whole system, they usually make better investment decisions than the people who only chase whatever is trending, whatever somebody on TikTok told them, or whatever signal they got from Discord, right? Whatever. The people who understand the whole system, you come out on top. All right? Don't only obsess over which model is the smartest. That's not enough. Intelligence without infrastructure cannot scale. A great model without chips. Where we at? Let's pull the cake back up. I don't want anybody to be confused. Yeah, a great model without chips, energy, and AI factory capacity is like having a race car with no fuel and no track. Investors need to train. We need to train ourselves to think below the surface, okay? Who is building the system? Who is feeding the system? Who is powering the system? That is where a lot of real opportunity may be sitting, right? There will absolutely be short-term volatility. Yes, it's finna move up and down. Yeah, so there will be some headlines, geopolitical noise. That's what it is. It's just noise. Silence the noise. There's going to be some inflation concerns. There will be Federal Reserve policy swings. This shit going to go up and down. It won't go straight up, but there will be long-term growth. You know? There will be market pullbacks too, rotations, sentiment changes, ugly periods. I'm talking about ugly periods where if you a weak ass, if your hands is weak as hell, you got paper hands, weak hands is gonna get shaken out. And by weak hands, I mean your mortgage due, so you had to sell your AI stock because you was going through some shit in life, so you had to get out your position. Like, you don't want to ever do that. But I'm just saying, the parts where the market have ugly periods, that part is normal. That part comes with the territory. But even with that, even with all that noise going on, the medium to long term direction still looks very clear to me. Look crystal clear to me. I don't even need no 8 ball to tell you where it's going. Yeah. Energy, chips, and data center infrastructure look like some of the most direct and durable themes connected to this AI build out. And yeah, my personal view is that from 2026, right, from this year, I'm calling it now. Come back to this. We're going to come back to this video and be like, bruh said it. And from 2026 to about 2028, these three themes that we talked about going to have a strong chance to continue outperforming the whole damn market. The whole market. That's yeah, that is my interpretation of everything I just told y'all. That's how I'm reading this, what he just said. It's not a guarantee. This is not financial advice. It's not a promise, but as a serious framework from where the weight of the build out appears to be concentrated, that according to my calculations, that's what I see happening, right? So the real lesson I want y'all to walk away from all of this nerd shit I just said is that AI should not be viewed as just another cool technology story. This is a system story. This is an infrastructure story. This is a industrial build out story. And when you see it that way, you stop thinking like a spectator and start thinking like an investor. You stop asking shallow questions and you start making yourself develop structural questions. You stop only chasing the top headline and you start studying the layers underneath it. Right? Because in the years ahead, the people who may position themselves best are not just the ones who know how to talk about AI. Okay, they are the ones who understand, understand, and overstand what AI actually requires, which is power, chips, factories, models, applications, a full stack, a full system, right? A real economic machine. And that's why I believe that the CEO of NVIDIA, right? Where we at? Let me get rid of this. Where we at? Where we at? This is why I believe that he was not just giving a speech. He was giving us a map. He was giving us a map. So let's stop. We're not gonna be the people that's not, thinking deeply enough about what this actually means for money. Dude sounded the alarm. He sounded the alarm that the next 4 years is about to be the biggest window that regular people get to build serious wealth from artificial intelligence. And I need y'all to hear me clearly. This does not mean everybody is about to be rich just because AI exists. No, that's a fantasy. But what it means is that we are still in a phase where the infrastructure is being built, the tools are still expanding, the companies are still forming, and the money is still moving. And that is where opportunity lives. Opportunity usually show up while things are still being built, don't it? Not after everything is already mature and crowded. By the time everybody agrees something is amazing, a lot of the easy upside, right, that you could have had, it's already taken place. It already happened. It been eaten up by the people who got there early and they understood what was happening before it became obvious. Y'all gonna hear me talk about this shit a lot more as it goes up, right? So this is why regular people make the same mistake over and over again. They wait until something is comfortable. They wait until something is familiar, socially approved by everybody else, and then they take it serious. By then, the train already halfway down the track. Mm-hmm. They did it with the internet. They did it with e-commerce. Y'all remember when who remember when e-commerce first hit the scene? Drop shipping and shit. That shit mean electric vehicles will be in the forefront, right? Electric vehicle owner will benefit from AI. That's on the list. That's definitely on the list, but you got to think about everything that it takes to even run that. What about everything, the components on the inside of it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Strip it. We want to think infrastructure, evacuation list, but definitely we looking at the application and we looking at the models. We looking at every aspect of it. But it requires energy to power the electric vehicle. So it wouldn't be energy is at the forefront, but electric vehicles is on that list because when people want electric vehicles, that means that there's a demand for energy going up because energy powers the electric vehicles, right? But people overlook situations and they wait until everybody else in it and then it's too late. They did it with crypto, they did it with social media, they even do it with the regular investing. They wait until TikTok is viral and everywhere you swipe is somebody talking about trading, right? If I had a trading chart up, let me put this down. Let me show y'all real. We'll do a social experiment. If I put a chart up right now, this room gonna be flooded with people. It'll be flooded with people. I don't even want their ass in here right now. We're gonna finish what we was talking about. So look, don't wait until the headlines is loud, right? Don't wait until the prices is high. Don't wait till everybody on TikTok and YouTube pretending to be an expert and then jump in emotionally and you don't got no damn plan. That's not a strategy. You basically late with confidence. So one of the most expensive personality traits a person can have in financial life is to be late with confidence, right? So when somebody like the CEO of NVIDIA say that there may be a limited window here, what he is really telling you is not that money falls from the sky. You can't just wait on pie to fall from the sky. Yeah. He's saying that the people who study early, position early, build skills early, invest with discipline during the build out phase, those are the ones who may have the best shot at catching the wealth creation stage instead of just the mature stage. Yes, evacuation list, that's all I'm saying. Very early. Why need take speculation position? All right, so what do I mean by last chance? Because I don't want nobody to misunderstand what last chance mean. It does not mean that there will never be another opportunity in the economy. Again, the world is too strange and too creative for some shit like that to happen, right? So there will always be new industries, new technologies, new ways to make money. But what it does mean is that this current AI wave that we in right now may be one of the last major moments where someone like you and I, any type of outsider, any regular worker, a small investor, self-taught people can still get positioned before the system becomes too locked in, before it run away from you. It's going to run away from you. Once the major infrastructure is built, once the dominant companies become even more dominant, okay? Once regulation tighten up and the cost of competing goes ways up, go way up, hell, the cost of computing gonna go up too. And once the barriers to entry gets heavier, it becomes harder for you and I, the average person, to break in at a meaningful level, right? So basically what I'm trying to say is, or what I'm aiming to say is, the party is usually cheapest before the velvet rope goes up. When they put that velvet rope up, when they put up that velvet rope, the party is more expensive. So AI is bigger than a chatbot. So stop thinking about AI like a chatbot. I think y'all get the gist of what I'm saying. You know, the dumbest thing that you can do right now is hear this conversation, leave this live, and go out there and chase anything with the word AI attached to it. That is how undisciplined people get separated from their money. Okay, every boom is going to create a bunch of people who are the real winners. It's going to separate the fake experts, the weak businesses, the scams, overpriced nonsense, emotional buyers. That part never changed. So no, this is not a message telling you to throw your rent money or your mortgage money into some random AI stock because I use the word generational wealth. That's not investing. So yeah, that's gambling. What you should do is wake the fuck up, and I'm forcing you to become more intentional. Learn the space, learn the companies, learn the supply chain, learn how money actually flow. Okay? Learn the difference between a meme and infrastructure. Learn which businesses are selling picks and shovels versus the ones that are just selling dreams. When I tell people this story all the time, when the gold rush happened, okay, and they was finding gold and people was getting rich off gold, they wasn't the first ones to get rich. The first people to get rich were the people that were selling the shovels and the picks. They got rich first. Okay, now you got to understand infrastructure. Why? I think y'all get why. I ain't gonna. We ain't gonna stress this out. We ain't gonna stress this. I just wanted y'all to know the middle class. They may get rearranged. AI. It ain't just gonna create winners and losers by company. Like it's going to rearrange the labor market itself. So all y'all white collar jobs. This shit gonna get compressed, transformed. It's gonna be maybe even made less valuable. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Anything that's repetitive. So yeah, don't think. I mean, a lot of people pay for what looks like expertise, but it's really just routine processing. And the routine processing is exactly the kind of shit that machines get better at. Meanwhile, the ability to physically do useful work, solve tangible problems, and operate in a real world may become more valuable, not less valuable, okay? So the future may look very different from the fantasy fucking world that people was sold. A lot of people delusional about what's about to happen, okay? Now, the person that has a trade, if you have a trade, a technical skill, a business, right? Or you have business discipline, maybe you got investment mindset. You will be the one that will end up more resilient than the person with the fancy ass title, but they don't got no real leverage. You need a real plan. TC Almighty says gold pumping right now. So the question becomes, what should regular people actually do with this information then, coach? Hell, well, first of all, stop consuming trends like entertainment and start studying this shit like your future depends on it, because it does. It does. Second of all, understand that wealth is usually built through position, not excitement. Position. Position means where you stand when the world changes. Are you building useful skills? Are you investing consistently? Are you paying attention to the companies enabling the shift? Are you improving your earning power? Are you in industries that benefit from change or industries that get squeezed by it? Third of all, stop thinking you need to become a Silicon Valley genius to participate in this shit. You don't got to be rich to get started. You do got to get started to be rich. You do not need to invent AI to benefit from this shit. You need discipline, education, patience, and a system. Some people going to benefit through investing. Some people going to benefit by starting a service business. Some going to benefit through trade work, connected to energy, connected to infrastructure, connected to maintenance or installation, right? A lot of people going to use AI to become more productive in the business that they already own. Either way it go. I'm going to correct something. A lot of people, they hear me say generational wealth. It's not hitting one lucky trade. It's not acting brand new for 6 months after you did that. Generational wealth is not buying one hot stock and then posting motivational quotes and screenshots and shit. This is assets, cash flow, ownership, systems, protection, and a behavior that lasts longer than your mood do. So it means basically you got to build something that can outlive your impulses. Right? So when we say AI could be a path toward generational wealth, we are not talking about excitement. We talking about using this economic transition as a chance to build real ownership, real skills, real capital, right? This is real positioning while the window is still open. While the window is still open, okay? That takes thought. And it also takes restraint at the same time, in the same breath, right? It takes you being less emotional than the crowd. So we're not going to be intimidated by the future. A lot of us get scared when they hear conversations like this because they think the future is passing them by. You keep on passing me by. But panic is not a strategy either. The point is not to be afraid of AI. Okay. The point is to understand I need a DJ or something like that that can just, or you know what I'm saying, hit them shits whenever I say something so I don't got to do it. I know y'all tired of hearing me blurt these songs out. But y'all get what I'm saying though, right? I think I'm being pretty clear. Just understand this shit early enough to respond intelligently. That's all I'm saying. All right. The future has always rewarded people who adapt faster than the average motherfucker, right? So not the loudest people, not the most arrogant people, the people who learn, the ones who observe, and if you move with intention, the power of execution, that is the game. So if you sitting here thinking you too late, cut that shit out. Cut that shit out. You need to cut it. You may be late to some things, but you know, you are not too late to learn. You're not too late to learn. You're not too late to get disciplined. It's not too late to build a skill. It ain't too late to invest with consistency. It ain't too late to start paying attention. It ain't too late to use this shit to start a business or with your business. But you do need to stop drifting though, right? The market don't pay people for confusion forever. Right. We may be living through one of the last big windows. So pay attention. That was it. That's all. I think I'm going to leave it there. And I appreciate y'all for listening and tuning in. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. That's been the end of the Ironworth Trading Show. I'm your host, Coach Price. We're going to make today twice as good as yesterday and half as good as tomorrow.